with our shelters and everything, what we're doing right now.
Yeah, first and foremost, we have a beautiful relationship with the county commissioners. We work with the county to be able to identify potential shelters due to this current hurricane. One thing we know, that this hurricane has been unpredictable, somewhat as the pandemic. But we worked in the last 12 hours to identify a number of our shelters for our direct community and also for surrounding communities to be able to create a safe location. And from a school district perspective, once the county initiates a state of local emergency, our role and responsibility is then become and assist them in any way, shape, and form that we can in order to create a safe place. And by opening 5 shelters at this particular time, it's going to allow us to do that and work in concert.
Can you talk about the fact that we've got e-learning instead of just canceling school? Parents, any message for them?
Yeah, so one thing we've learned during this pandemic, we've learned how to be flexible. We've learned to be able to transition from brick and mortar school to a remote learning status. And we have, close to, 40+% of our students that are learning at an e-learning perspective or through Hillsborough K-12. So right now we do have a large number of students that are in brick and mortar. Our election to transition to e-learning for Thursday and Friday is to make certain that we can continue to protect the instructional process. We know from a teacher's perspective that a number of our teachers may have issues with connecting with our students. There may be issues related to students having devices, having the access to internet providers, and the same with our teachers. We may experience outages. Only thing we ask our teachers to do is do their best. We're here to support them. We know that this is going to be some of the same as what we did in our Smart Start week at the beginning of the year, to do our best to make that connectivity. And no student will be penalized in any way, shape, or form if they do not have that availability to make that connection. We will stand ready and available to help them when they come back on Monday, November the 16th. So to our parents, thank you for your flexibility. Thank you for understanding. If we didn't select these 2 days to transition to remote learning and e-learning, we would have to use hurricane days, which are during the week of Thanksgiving break. And it had to be done in the first semester. So in order to protect that break, in order to leverage the resources that we have now, because all of our connectivity will be through Canvas, our students and teachers can have a place where they can interact from an instructional standpoint. We also know our students can leverage Already. They can leverage Achieve, and in secondary they can leverage Edgenuity. So there's many platforms that are available. But once again, if our teachers don't have available to have that access, or our students, we just ask them to do their best, and we'll be able to work with them alongside them along the way.
So to be clear, if you had made the decision to just cancel school outright, what we would have had to take away the Thanksgiving break?
Absolutely, we've got to have meet a certain number of instructional hours in the first semester and in the second semester in order to comply with statutory requirements. And in this particular way, due to the fact that we paused to transition back to school for 1 week, that took away a number of our hurricane days. So if we elect to cancel these 2 days, then we would have to take 2 days from the Thanksgiving break. So many of our families have already made arrangements for travel arrangements to be able to go out of town, and this is a time where they can be able to let their hair down and be with their family and their loved ones. And we wanted to try to protect that time as much and often as we can. And so hence the reason we will go to a remote learning process on Thursday and Friday. And once again, teachers, only thing we understand, just do your best. We're here to help you along the way.
There are some people out there who are wondering why we cancel Friday as well. Can you talk about, not only the fact that we have shelters, but also the need to clean them in the age of COVID?
Absolutely. The biggest thing is when we open shelters, it is a lot goes into being able to make them available to our community. So we'll spend today until around 2 o'clock when shelters will open on Wednesday. That means they'll be open from Wednesday evening all the way through Thursday. And once individuals transition out and it's safe for them to go back to their home or back to their locations, and then we'll take our team hours and hours and hours to be able to come in and do deep cleans. And not only are we cleaning to make certain that we are cleaning for just the basic particular areas, but we've got to go on top of that and do deep cleanings related to COVID. So it's going to take an additional 24 hours to get those schools back up and operational. So just making certain that we transition and we clean them and have sufficient time to do that is the reason that we elected to transition from Thursday and Friday so that it's seamless.